Hey you guys, MHNbysheterram here, Goddess Intuition. So today I wanted to just cover a few topics, and I did take a few notes. So I really been getting into spirituality and beauty, and we all know harvest season is here. The 2020 portal is here. What else? Lion Gate is in effect, and it's a lot that's happening and going on right now. And I just wanted to touch on a few things. I've been touching on a few things for a while as far as spirituality, beauty, and just coming with my own opinion, so to speak. So what I wanted to do first is dive into magic. Okay, and so I believe there's a lot of misconception around magic. You have a lot of people that are interested because it's mainstream now, and people are, I don't want to say it's just for like mainstream purposes, because you do have people that are really on their path and they're coming on the wavelength, but most people have the wrong concept about magic, I believe, because it's really seen as taboo and it's hidden, and so what I really wanted to bring forth is magic is all around us, whether we like to perceive it in a mundane kind of way or not. It's a whole nother realm of spirituality, and that involves magic, pure magic, what's not seen, what we can't really see, but we understand because we can feel it. It's all about a feeling. How do you feel when you receive certain downloads? How do you feel when you perceive a certain thought? It has everything to do with the astral realm first. And if people can open up their minds and open up their hearts and see it as that's who we are already, I believe that they would kind of shift their paradigm a little bit and be more receptive of magic. I believe Hollywood also, they played a part in the whole fairy tale, scary, magic trick this and magic tricks that, and I don't see it that way. Of course, a lot of people that have the calling on their life, so to speak, we've always been tapped in and tuned in, even as a child. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I did actually take some notes. I said, as a child, we've all experienced some form of spirituality, whether it was on a supernatural level or not. And also on a subconscious level, whether we know it or not, whether we knew it or not, right? And so, as a child, we're very pure and very sensitive to everything, and also tapped in and tuned into everything. And so I can remember as a kid always wondering about like nature and trees and just different things like that. And I always found myself daydreaming. Whether I was in school, in the classroom, sitting down somewhere, or at home, just we would like lay in the grass and stare into the stars, right? And so I would have dreams also about different places that I was familiar with. I just didn't know if it was real or not. And as a kid, we're like, we're impressionable, and we have a big imagination. But I always felt like it was real. And sometimes I would be confused because I didn't know if I was dreaming or not, right? And so I believe if people just open up their minds and not run away from that side of themselves, because it's all connected, and magic, spirituality, whatever you want to call it, whatever the title that has been mainstream, it's like you kind of want to move away from that. You want to move away from that and really get back to that state where you're able to feel. And that has everything to do with our heart space. And so if you're not in tune with your heart, how are you able to feel? If you run away from your emotions, how are you able to process them and have a clear vision, And so when people get involved with magic and the whole thrill of like spell work and candles and symbols and energies, it's deeper than that. It's all about your intentions. It's all about who you are, tapping into that side, opposed to stepping outside of you to really find what you're looking for. I know for me, it was a calling. Something kept tugging at me, and I couldn't resist it anymore. And so naturally, I believe the chosen people know naturally what's going on. It's too big for us to put it in words. We can't. It's too infinite and too just big for us to put it in words. Some of the things that I've felt and just downloaded, I can't even put it into words because it's so deep, And it's really important that we, instead of going outside of ourselves to find the answer, we must go within, first and foremost, because if we don't do that, then we can get lost into the whole religion aspect of it. And me, I consider myself as a free spirit. I don't identify with anything. I'm spirit. I'm here in a vessel, here to bring messages forth. And, that's my purpose. Amongst other things, of course. It's layers to it, and sometimes I believe that we can be so anxious and so caught up in wanting to perfect our gifts and wanting to shine a light on everything that we've downloaded. It's really important. I've been working with patients for a while now, and It's been rocky because I'm a fire sign, and I also have a lot of earth in my chart, so which is patient anyway, but it tends to fluctuate, and I get anxious a little, and I'm like, okay. And I have to constantly remind myself, like, just live in the moment, just live in the now. Sometimes I think that we can get so caught up on, the knowledge of things, and we forget to tap into ourselves and be in the now. And let me just say, you guys, that I've never really read any books on spirituality other than the Bible. And I consider that as like, it's a spell book. For all the Christians out there, it's a spell book, okay? It's a guide. So it has portals, But for me, it's really about tapping into self and staying within that course, because you don't want to get again lost into the whole rabbit hole of things, trying to learn everything and trying to perfect all of your crafts at one time. It's a process, and that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm learning. So, and there's nothing wrong with you if that's what you do. You're a perfectionist and you line things up the way that it should be, of course, but it's like sometimes life throws us curves. Even in spirituality, you could be feeling one way and then just boom, you will see something or you will receive a download, and it's like everything changes. And so I think that is really important that we go with that flow instead of us running away, because we all know if you go against the current, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be, just back and forth. And I've also been working with my beautiful ancestors, and that's another thing. Really make sure that you're tapping into your bloodline, and contacting your spiritual. They're going to contact you anyway. I know mine's are so funny. They're gonna they're gonna contact you anyway. But yeah, magic is sacred. There's many different kinds of magic, rituals, spells, however you want to put it into category. And I believe if we shift what others perceive it to be, then we're able to take it and remix it and tailor it to fit our core. And then we won't become so lost up in what is right and what is wrong. We will know already on a spiritual level that there isn't any right or wrong. No polarity. It's just that space where you're able to create, where you're able to be tapped into the universe. And I think that is really, really beautiful, because you get a chance to be at peace while you're creating. And it's not always pretty. Of course, we go through our retrogrades, if you want to call it that. We go through our setbacks, just like life happens every day. But just to have that knowing and to really tap into spirit, into your own personal higher self, There's no book, there's not one person that can compete with that, because it's something that you already know. And I believe people, they really know what's going on. Even the ones that are like, oh, no, I don't believe in this and believe, they know what's going on. They're just too afraid to step outside of the system. And let me not say anything ill about the system, because you know what? The system can work for you if you shift it to do so. It's like that it's there, but use it to help you elevate. Use it to help you procreate in a way that is beneficial for you and others. Gratitude is everything. I thank my ancestors, I thank the universe on a daily basis, because I wasn't always conscious. I had forgot about that part of myself as I got older, as we all do. We lose that pureness in that childlike spirit, due to circumstances, experiences, different things that we hold on to that we need to release, that is really clouding our own way of seeing life and seeing others. But I think that is really profound. And I can remember a time where during my journey, I was like, I just kept on getting that download, like, me? I'm like, Spirit, are you sure? Like, I have unlimited power. I have a spiritual bank. Understand what I'm saying? I have abundance, wealth that is stored within my DNA. I'm like, that's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it, and it's so profound, because in science class, we've all been there. Biology class, we've all been there. They talk about a part of our DNA that is junk DNA, and it's like, no. If anything, and here's my little twist on it. Junk, as far as maybe, how can I word it? A confusion in energies, possibly. Maybe through the bloodline, through everything that has happened, we have some sort of misplaced, of course, energies that need to be released and that need to be put back in its proper place, right? So that's one way of looking at it. But when they say junk DNA, it's like, no, what is that? I don't care about the other parts. I want to know what that junk is, because that junk is where our power lie. Nothing is just by accident, or it's everything has a position. Everything has a part, everything has a flow. So it's something really, really profound. And like I said, I've always just been somewhere else. And that's another thing that is amazing, how you can be in one spot and how you're able to still drift and allow your imagination to carry you and to create. You know, of course, that comes with subconscious reprogramming, deprogramming everything, and then just unlearning everything and actually taking yourself out of that space. I can remember feeling like I was taking myself out of a space and actually setting myself up to program myself in a way that was, it fit me. You know, it wasn't about anyone else, it was about me. And when you are led to do that, I'm sure it's a lot of you guys that have experienced this as well. And let me just say that if you do come across this video, I don't care if it's a year from now, if it's 2 or 3 months from now, it can still resonate, because there's no time we created, it's just. And so if you come across this video, then you were meant to see it. You know, and a part of me know that I have to stay grounded, because it's easy to get lost in the current. You know, I'm not gonna lie. But I think with meditation, you know, of course, proper eating, healthy eating, and really taking that time to clear everything that you need to clear away. I've always been a kind of person that been like that anyway, though. I was always like a no nonsense person. Like, I'm not going to be around you if it's mess involved. You know, I have an Aries sun, and so we're really loyal. We're really fiery, and, you know, we're luscious. Okay. But we are just upfront and honest and direct, you know. And even when I wasn't as aware as I am now, I've always been like that. Here I am. You know, this is me. You know, and along with spirituality, you're going to really have to, I don't want to say develop tough skin where you're not able to feel and be tapped into your emotions, but you're going to have to really say, you know what? Here I am. There's nothing wrong with me believing in magic and having that in my heart, and it's pure. My intentions, it's pure. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Because we can listen to someone else and we can get scared, and it's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. It's a feeling. It's something that you cannot describe. Okay. So let's talk about that real quick. Let's just talk about a few things to help you when you do come into that side of yourself. Again, meditation, of course, this key. You know, clearing out things, purging. You're going to continue to purge and heal. You're going to people are going to notice, and they probably not going to know how to take you. You know, they probably will judge you, but that's okay. You know, can't no one judge anyone. We can just judge ourselves. But that's how it really happens. It's like when you just wake up and just something just hits you, and it's like, am I on earth or am I not? That's how it was for me. So I can only imagine with others. And, it's something new. But just know that everything outside of you is going to confirm that you're on the right path, because you would receive different downloads, synchronicities, and you really have to trust that. Sometimes, we're taught not to trust ourselves, so that's taken away from us trusting our intuition. And I think that if you exercise taking some time out to really focus on your intuition and learning yourself at like a ground level, instead of everything just hitting you at once and you have to sort everything out, stepping into this realm of occult knowledge and magic and the dark wonders of the world and spiritual nature and spirituality, and if you step into it with wanting to know the truth, wanting to know exactly who you are, where you come from, I think that it will do you a lot of justice in a way that is going to put you on a path, and you're going to be rapid. If you allow spirit to lead you, and your spiritual guides and your ancestors and your intuition and your higher self is going to be rapid. You will begin to notice different things about yourself. Maybe you are able to read energies. Maybe you're able to telepathic communication, but it has to be exercised, because you would think like, okay, wait a minute, especially if you're an empath, we already receive different downloads, or we are very sensitive to others and what's around us and different energies, and so you may get confused a little bit about is these are my thoughts or are there external thoughts, and so like I said, along with intuition and everything, that will kind of help you just staying centered and staying focused on self, because we can get lost up in past, present, future. We can get lost up in trying to save the world. That's another thing. Everyone is not going to receive you in your newness. Everyone is not going to take you and say, okay, wow, I'm down with you. And they may say that, but do they really understand? Because probably not, and that's okay. We're all here on a journey. Everyone is learning at their own space. Totally fine. But I'm gonna tell you right now, like I said, you're gonna have to just trust self and go within. And sometimes it's isolation, but it's for a reason. It's to really help you elevate and grow. I believe spirit takes us away and protect us in a way, shield us in a way to really allow us to open up and see ourselves. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I have to be able to feel before I start to bring something forth. I have to really think about it. I have Taurus in my sign too, Venus and Taurus. Shout out. I have to really think about things and really process things, and kind of just like build that foundation all the way up to expressing myself. I can remember a time where I would just boom express myself. I didn't care what I said. I didn't care if I hurt others' feelings. It was what it was. And I'm kind of picking up on that now still, but it's not in a malicious way. It's just in a way that's saying, hey, I'm here. You don't have to resonate with me. You don't have to like anything that I say. You don't have to even believe in the same things that I believe in, but just respect it. You know, I can respect others. I can respect a witch, a warlock, a Muslim, who, I don't care. Do you? You know, and it is what it is. You know, so let me check my notes real quick and see, do I have anything else? Oh, yes. People separate themselves from the spiritual realm. And that's confirmation because it's storming. But people separate themselves from the spiritual realm, thinking that it's two separate things. But in reality, everything happens on an astral level, subconsciously, then it comes down to physical, right? And so I'm just trying to kind of bring it all home for you guys. It's really important that you see it as a whole. You feel me? You see it as one, opposed to trying to separate, because you're gonna come into I can't even talk, I'm sorry. Oppositions. You're gonna come into, you know, if you just see it as a whole, see it as infinite, the circle of life, then you will be able to really identify with things right before they happen. You will be able to say, I know what's getting ready to happen because I picked up on it. I received this download. You know? I think that is really dangerous to separate the two, because in physical form, you may feel like you're able to do whatever and not have an effect on yourself or others. But in reality, you're creating it. On a spiritual level, you're creating it. So every time there's a reaction, an action, you think about something, you say something out of your mouth, you know, casting a spell from talking, or a curse, you know, it's coming back in full circle, in cycles. The universe works in cycles. We are here